remember walking into my brand new friend's bedroom for the very first time, and on her wall, keep in mind, this girl just moved from Nashville. On her wall is a signed photo of her and Miss Taylor Swift. I will forever and ever remember this day as the day that I discovered and have loved Taylor Swift ever since. At this time, Taylor Swift only had her debut album, and then a year later, I'm going into my sophomore year in high school. It's 2008, and she releases Fearless. I was that girl who had her headphones in between class, walking to class, and I was 15, listening to 15. The first time that I was able to afford to go to a Taylor Swift concert was 1989. I was a college student, and I saved up all my little dimes. And I went to 1989. This was the night, it was the night that I met Taylor Swift. It goes pitch black. Welcome to New York. Pew! The lights are out again. I am hysterically crying. I have loved this girl since I was in 8th grade. It was my first time finally seeing her live, so the tears are just like uncontrollably sobbing. And then within 5 seconds, I see Andrea Swift. Without even thinking, I just scream, "It's Taylor Swift!" And she waves and she walks right by me and she walks up to the very top, and I didn't think I was going to see her again until like 5 minutes later she came downstairs. She held my hands and she said, "Have you ever met Taylor Swift before?" And I'm hysterically crying. And that was the night that I got my invite to the 1989 Loft, and I met Taylor Swift. I just love this woman. She's been with me through the darkest, saddest times of my whole life, but also the happiest. I met this man in college who I thought was going to be my husband, but he's the one that made me believe that, okay? He was like, "I think like you might be my wife." And then a week later, he breaks up with me and he starts dating my best friend. Yeah, honestly, guess who got me through that breakup? My real bestie, Miss Taylor Swift. Okay, now I did go to the Eras Tour opening night last night, but I'm very, very, very fortunate because I do get to go again tonight. On my wedding day, when I walked down the aisle, I walked down to Daylight, my husband walked down to Invisible String, we walked back to Wildest Dreams, and then our first dance at our wedding was Lover. Okay, now my favorite story that my sister ever tells about me, okay? I asked her to tell the story at my funeral when I'm dead and gone. I used to drive my sister and I to gymnastics, and so it's October 2010, Speak Now released. So you know what I had to do before we went to gymnastics was obviously stop at Target and buy the Speak Now album. She was like this big, and she was really upset because she was late for gymnastics. She thought she was gonna get in trouble. She's a full-blown Swiftie. Last night I was sitting on the floor, and tonight we're sitting first row of the lower bowl. So I'm so excited because I feel like it's gonna be a whole different show. Tonight I'll be able to see what's happening on the stage rather than like watching from below. Okay, so we're going tonight. Shush. Some of you may be thinking like, "Whoa girl, 2 nights in a row," but here's the thing. I had tickets to 2 of the 4 Loverfests. Like, I really gotta make up for this. And I would die for Taylor Swift. That's just the cold hard facts. Here's the final look. See you there!